Yeah, with any documentary, there's a lot goes on in the editing process. It's there's no script, so it took us let's see, about a little over 7 months to edit this movie together, which is actually incredibly short for the average documentary. We were just on an incredibly tight deadline because we were trying to meet festival deadlines and whatnot. So we were just pushing ourselves like 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, to just study this footage and tell the best story we could with it. There were over 200 hours of footage, so it took 2 weeks alone just to watch it all. And I don't speak Japanese, so we had to have it all translated ahead of time. So it was definitely a process. It was a challenge, and the great thing about it was we shot it in 2 sections. David went to Japan the first time, shot half the movie, and then we were able to look at all that footage and kind of find the major story elements that we wanted to portray in the movie. And then when he was able to go back the second time, we had the script in our minds, like what we wanted to tell through the film. So we were able to shoot all the parts that were missing. So in a way, that was kind of it worked very well to our advantage. It was much more of a directorial direction in the second half, where we really knew what we were trying to accomplish, which in documentary filmmaking is like pretty much the best thing you can do is like go back and shoot and keep shooting because you have that ability. But yeah, it's the first stage of writing and the last stage of writing. There's no script, and so it was a long process, but we're very proud of it. So I think it came out really well.
And at what point, okay, this is something that maybe, hopefully it's more, you guys notice this too, but one of the things that resonated with me is, aside from it being a movie about sushi, right, sushimovie.com, even your own URL is like sushi movie, right? One thing I noticed is, wow, this is like more about like, it's also about this family and like, the values of the family. And you kind of like almost tricked me a little bit, because I'm thinking, wow, this one son's 50, but he doesn't get promoted. He's kind of like, not until later do I realize, oh, it's because he's really going to take over the business. I just thought, maybe he just doesn't make sushi that well. You know what I mean? And then the younger son's like, then you realize, no, he's a master also. But it was kind of about like family values too. And at what point did you kind of notice that as part of the story? Or was it from the beginning?
Well, before I went out there, I knew that there was going to be, I was hoping there was going to be some kind of family story, but it wasn't until after Brandon and I started working on the footage that we realized how kind of central that was. And I think that's the reason the movie kind of works, is because that there's this human element and there's this kind of family story going on. Because it's not just about sushi. It's about any kind of art. Jiro's philosophy can apply to anything, and the story of Jiro and his father, applies to a lot of people. And I think we're very lucky that it turned out that way. And when I chose to make the movie just about Jiro, I was kind of hoping that there would be something like that would happen. But it was only until after I dumped like hard drive after hard drive on Brandon's lap that we began to really realize that Yoshikazu was kind of, Jiro's son was kind of becoming the main character of the story in a way.
Yeah, I really liked how that unfolded as a story, because it just kind of just made me feel for the guy, and kind of exciting in a way. Mm-hmm. So that's it.